getting them started here at the beginning, so the field crew is going to give them time to get that connected. We can see that there is a camera live action picture there, so they are ready for this match.
So Goon Squad loading up the cargo ball in the cargo ship for the Blue Alliance.
Yep, and both red robots accomplished their Sandstorm tasks. 35-38, already out with the second hatch panel, as is 5460. So a perfect start to the match for red.
Megatron Oracles defending the near rocket.
And they're in that higher posture again, which is what we wanted to see. 3604 trying to get through, but they couldn't, so they gave up and scored somewhere else, which is smart.
Eventually they've got to crack that defense.
Watch
though.
862. They need to be crossing the field now, and they are.
So there's a little contact there, so our defense is percolating just a bit.
That was smart. 862 knew that they didn't want to have to fight 314 to get on the defensive side of the field, so they crossed on the other side. And that saved them a ton of time. Now it's going to be a battle again. Can 5460 score through the defense?
Strike Zone having some challenges with the Goon Squad Blue Alliance robot. But a nice maneuver. Oh, they lost the cargo ball, though. So they have to
862
wait.
not moving. They're disconnected. 862 has dropped connection, but it's back, so they were only out for a few seconds.
Yeah, we lost. Losing time means you're losing points.
I would say that gave 5460 kind of that one free score. That's not going to end the match, though. They can still hold on to this one.
Megatron Oracle still in that choke point there, waiting to put some aggressive defense in place. Very close on the scoreboard, though. Lots of time left. Blue Alliance working on that far rocket, putting up the hatch panels. And we see the Gems robot gobbling up another cargo ball and actually mishandling it.
And a miss from 5460.
So this is
35-38, almost going over, but they saved themselves.
I'm going to say this is not going to be a perfectly played match, but at this point it doesn't really matter about perfection. You just got to grind this one out.
Okay, and the defense has left now. Everybody's heading back for endgame, so a couple of quick scores for the Red Alliance, and now they're going to climb, and it is tied on the real-time score.
Megatron Oracles hasn't made their climb effort yet. See if they can speed it up and get up there. They did, and it looks like we're going to have
862 going for level 2, not making it. 5460 not making it, so endgame looks to be a wash. I think red was slightly ahead, right?
Red Alliance has a 12-point lead unofficially. And everyone holding their breath now, waiting for the final numbers to be tabulated. And that 862 robot, the Lightning Robotics, they needed a successful climb to tweak a few more points.
So it's hard to tell from here. We can't see the ends of the cargo ships to know what is scored in them. But the points that I could see are very close. I think it was a 2-point difference in the points that I could see.
So the defensive strategy that the Red Alliance employed in these last two matches made a big difference.
Yeah, I think absolutely. I mean, just looking at even that last match, what was scored on this side of the field? There was one cargo ball in the cargo ship. There were 2 panels down low, and I think maybe 2 cargo balls down low. And that was it. Nothing else on this side. So they almost shut down an entire side of the field. Now the other side, yeah, was more or less fully scored.
There's a whole bunch of officials huddled around that table.
Yep, so they are...
What do you think's happening?
They are talking to the scorekeeper. So the scorekeeper sitting at the table there, that's the person who actually inputs the final scores. Usually if they're talking to the scorekeeper, it's because they have to make an adjustment to the scores in the system before posting it.
And whoever wins is going to be going home with a state championship. And I don't know if it's possible we'll have another dead-on tie, but anything goes.
It's possible, but should be unlikely. Like I said, endgame was even. The points that we could see from up here were within 2 points of each other. And if what is scored on the ends of these cargo ships cancel out those 2 points, it could be another tie. And in that case, if it were another tie, I think it would have to be a tie in Sandstorm. It would have to be a tie in Endgame. I think it would also have to be a tie in hatch panels and cargo. So if there is a tie, I think it would be a full tie.
Which we've had before.
Which we've had before. But now the referees are looking at what I assume is the rules on, a tablet there. So if they're looking at the rules, that means they want to make sure that they've got the proper interpretation of a call. They want to make sure it's called correctly and nothing's missed. And that call very well would decide, the outcome of this match.
That's the Strike Zone robot, and we'll go downstairs and connect with Chris.
Yeah, so they're putting their heads together at the official scores table, guys. And look, the preliminary score that you see, that is finalized from the moment that the clock expires. But the judges were actually inputting some points for the Blue Alliance because of their hab climb into the official scoring mechanism even after the game clock expired on the match. So what we're looking at realistically is 12 more points for the Blue Alliance to make this match tied at 95-95. There were no penalties assessed, and so we could be looking at deja vu all over again with another tie that does not have a tiebreaker. And believe it or not, what they're discussing right now is the possibility of replaying this match again because of another true tie. And I'll keep you posted if I hear anything else.
All right, thank you, Chris.
Does make sense, the response. We saw some smiles over there after they made their final adjustments, and kind of like haha, this is pretty funny if this happens again. So could definitely come out to a tie here. I know we're not supposed to have to play this many matches, so the system may actually not be able to handle another match. And I think they might actually be conferring again, how do they want us to technically play the last match?
Well, what do you mean the system can't handle? What does that mean?
So essentially, the program that they're running has a certain number of slots for each matchup, and you play a match and it fills that slot. Well, we already had one tie, and I think they might not have expected a situation where you could have two ties. So if they fill up the 4 open spots to play a match in and put scores in, now we got to figure out how to play the last match. Now, they can either replay a match, they can go back to one of those 4 and play over it, or they could play what we would call a test match, where they just put the team numbers in and let them play the match. But they want to make sure that it is going to then populate through the system so that we get a true winner posted to the internet and the database and everything like that. So what likely will happen in that event is they would replay the very last match, and it would get this potential tie that we're looking at right now would get wiped out. We would replay that match as our 5th match, but 4th match in the system records.
So is it like a scoreboard that doesn't recognize overtime?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Well, it recognized the first overtime. It
but
can't
not,
handle
right,
second
not a
overtime.
Second OT.
No double OT.
Right. And no one's leaving. I mean, They want to see how this is going to play out.
It's not often you get a 5-match best-of-3 semifinals.
No, that's a new one.
Okay, so something I just saw, the lead FTA on the field has just left the field.
FTA stands for?
First Technical Advisor. So he's the main guy in charge of this stuff. He just left the field and went outside.
In just a moment.
And I think the reason why something like that would happen is that he is making a phone call.
And who's he calling?
He would be calling first
Got
headquarters.
some smart people there in New England.
Not that it matters to anyone that's viewing, but there is bad cell reception in here. That's why he's
Yep,
outside.
Exactly.
So let's do our highlight reel and see how this potential tie came into being.
That's that Sandstorm. We saw 35-38 on the top of the screen, scoring a hatch panel, and then making use of this sort of undefended time at the beginning of the match. And there's that 314 high defense. Blocking them out, good decision to just give up on that, score somewhere else for now, worry about it later. 35-38 again scoring, and I think we can just barely see in the back, that's the 862 robot crossing away from 314, taking the open lane to get onto defense there. And that, I think, was what turned it back into a tie. Another good score. And 35-38 has been doing this all match long. You know, just working that side with no defense, putting up a ton of points.
So my thinking is this. It's pretty likely we're going to play another match.
And it's official now.
Right.
They just showed on the screen. It is a tie, 95-95. And it is a true tie. There can be no winner determined. Sandstorm, hatch panel, cargo, hab climb, and penalty points are all identical.
So by default, we have to play another match.
We have to play another match. And the question is just how we're going to do that, whether there is an issue with the system or not. Good look at the end game climb here. And
if this 862 robot gets up, Blue wins,
yep,
right?
Absolutely. And
Didn't
they
make
just
it.
ran out of time. And that was their choice because they were defending so late in the match. They could have left 5 seconds earlier and gotten those points. Same time on the other side of the field, 5460 had an opportunity to climb to level 2 and could not execute on that either.
That is whack.
There we go. And the first tie was 99. This tie is 95 points. So in the same ballpark too.
And this is one of those things where, you know, we referenced this earlier. Are we really going to lose, you know, with having to play, you know, 5 matches, 2 of them dead even ties?
Yeah. I mean, this is an epic kind of back and forth matchup here. And the winner's going to feel great at the end of this. And the loser is yeah, it's rough to lose after you score these kind of points and get through